What it is, everybody, what it is. Never know when this will start. Hey, that's me. I am going to give you the news real quick. I'm here on Twitch right now where I've been doing live shows, and I really encourage you to go there. There are live shows on there that have not been released on YouTube. Hey, Doshi. Go ahead. Doshi's here. Big show. That's why he showed up early in the morning. I should get to the point. My main YouTube channel was terminated under very suspicious circumstances, especially for people who lean toward Donald Trump. And it's crazy. So I might, anyway. You can watch this kind of thing live. Oops, not there. At twitch.tv/lifttheveil411. You can buy this t-shirt, Truth Matters, to support exactly what we're going through right now by going to truthclothing.io. I might show you that in a little more, truthclothing.io. I might show you that in a little more detail later. We make t-shirts. It's called Truth Revolution Clothing. Never been a better time for that kind of thing. I had my channel terminated. Okay, so I was fighting these strikes. I had a strike first for a David Hogg video, and I found out a few days ago that strike came off. The video still had a 17+ rating on it, and nobody was watching it. The traffic got killed, but the strike was gone. Then I got a strike on a video that didn't exist. A video that I did live debunking the idea that David Hogg was a crisis actor, or that he was a 25-year-old from California at a minimum, which some people were saying. And I challenged that. And I'll tell you the results of that in a minute. That was then the one strike. I'm going to Los Angeles today. I'll be live on Periscope. Please follow my Twitter account at lifttheveil411, and you'll catch that live. I'm covering the Donald Trump protests that are going on today, supposedly, at least one in Beverly Hills. So I'm planning to be at that protest between 4 and 8 p.m. Pacific time, 7 to 11 p.m. Eastern time, and try to catch some cool interviews and stuff. And that's where this story gets crazy. So I'm working with a guy on Twitter called Ben, at Trusted Flagger. He's helped out a number of truthers before. I first got the information to contact him through Really Graceful, and he helped me out by referring me to somebody else who was able to get my channel back the first time after it had been terminated back in September of 2017. That the channel came back, and the first thing I did on that channel when it came back was take all of my old videos that said hoax in the title, that were in any way controversial. I set everything to private so that they couldn't possibly be flagged by somebody going through my videos trying to get my channel a strike. So I had set everything to private, okay, private. This other strike that got cleared up was on a video that had already been deleted. I was saying that earlier. I'm going to tell you the results of that, and we'll get to it. So anyway, I'm doing a show yesterday, and I'm excited because I'm going to this rally or protest today, and all it needed was for that last strike on the deleted video to be removed, and I could go live again on this channel from a protest, from an event. And so I'm talking about that on the show yesterday. And I get the idea, because this Trusted Flagger has been helping me out, I get the idea to tell him, hey, I'm trying to cover this Trump protest tomorrow, so it'd be great if my channel could be reinstated, and I gave him one of those. And I'm doing the show. I sent him the message during the show. Everybody can see it. It's here on Twitch. I'm going to upload this to both of my backup channels on YouTube, but there's a show that I did yesterday and a few other ones that are only here on Twitch. So check them out if you're interested. But in this show, I typed the message to the guy, And it had to be 3 minutes later that I'm on YouTube during the show and I get a strike. And you can see it happen during the show. I go to the YouTube and I have a strike there and I'm shocked. Well, then I have a very interesting conversation with Hoax Wars and Steve Outram about a possible solution to this stuff. And that is called altnews.com, which I own. So we're going to be looking into that as we go along. If you want to hear what we're thinking about, go check out that show on Twitch, where every one of these news shows is saved automatically. So then after the show, I got another strike and my channel got shut down. And both strikes are on videos that I had set to private because I didn't want them to get flagged, because the rules of what YouTube allows and doesn't allow have changed. So that's why I set them to private, because they were at one time acceptable and they now are no longer acceptable. Now, people have told me it doesn't matter if you set your videos to private. Well, that's one thing if it's in a short time span. If you put out a video and then a few days later you set it to private and then a day or two later you get a strike on it, that's a little different because somebody still could have flagged it within that amount of time. In this case, the videos were on private for months, so nobody could have seen them. And they both had hoax in the title. One was San Bernardino hoax. One was a Ohio State stabbing hoax. I mean, that's the kind of videos I used to make. I had to stop doing that, and especially with the titles, because the rules had changed. 2 videos, both got strikes. Now this is where, and that gave me 3 strikes, including the video that had been deleted because that strike was still on there. That gave me 3 strikes. I know it looks like I'm saying 4. I can't bend that pinky. That gave me 3 strikes, and 3 strikes and you're out. Terminated channel, or as it says in the, when you go to it, it says suspended. Then, this is where it gets weird. A few hours later, I get an email response, which I still haven't replied to, from YouTube saying the strike had been removed. So I actually should only have 2 strikes right now, and it actually should be pretty clear cut that my channel should be reinstated. But obviously I've been targeted. And the targeting, did I already tell you this part? I told the guy I was going to a Trump protest, and then it went down. So I have to think, God, that was a stupid thing to do, because they're targeting channels that are pro-Trump. And if they went back to my old videos, well, I was supporting Trump during the election, and they might have seen that, and they might have said, oh, we don't want this guy going to these protests tomorrow and being live, so we need to get rid of his channel. That's all I can figure. And like I said, I thought to myself that maybe I'd been spared thus far because I'm not a Trump supporter. But maybe they assumed I was. And when I said I wanted to cover these Trump protests, this guy, this trusted flagger, all of a sudden had my channel terminated. That's a conspiracy theory at this point, but I wrote to him. I was like, dude, can I trust you? I told you that thing, and then minutes later I have a strike on my account, and then an hour later my account's terminated all of a sudden. And I didn't even tell him yet that I had this 1 strike removed. So again, I should be able to say, hey, I only have 2 strikes, put my channel back up. And then what I would do immediately is go through and delete all those videos, so there isn't a chance they could hit me. But it is too much. And that's what we were talking about on the show last night. It is too much to go through. It's not right. They are explicitly targeting channels like mine. And now I can tell you for sure, because that's the only way I would have gotten terminated. That's the only way I would have gotten those 2 strikes on private videos. So it's real. It's definitely real. They're definitely not pulling back. They're still targeting channels that are in any way dissent against whatever is in their mind as their point of view. And I can't say for sure it was this trusted flagger on Twitter that did it. I can't say for sure that it was related to going to this Trump protest, but it's awfully, I mean, the timing of it watch the show and you can see it in real time. I send the message, and a little later on my YouTube, I get a strike. And then after the show, I find out my account was terminated. I go on Periscope to talk about it. So it's really important, if you're watching this on Twitch or on YouTube, to follow me on Twitter. Just in general, it's a good thing to do. But today I'm planning to go live because I can't go live still on either of the channels I'm planning to upload this to. I'm going to be live on Periscope, where you can get people tuned in for the kind of event I'm going to. And I'm hoping to get some really good interviews. Even though I'm not pro-Trump, I'm not pro-anti-Trump protests. And we're going to have a lot of people at that protest I disagree with. And we want to ask them questions just to see what their point of view is. So it'll be a really exciting piece. It's raining today, so I hope it's not going to dampen the spirits of these protesters. But I'm hoping to get some good interviews, some good footage. So anyway, I am going to sign off for now so we can make this a relatively short video. I told you the whole story. And please tune in 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to be there early, and generally things are happening earlier, and it's a good time to get interviews. So you might want to look for me as early as 2 p.m. to be doing kind of one of my long protest streams. And we know fascinating things happen with Lift the Veil at protests. From the Pizzagate protest to the Antifa protests in Berkeley, where different things happen, violence, and then people calling me out and all kinds of stuff. So we know that something exciting will happen today if I'm going to be there. I'm going to try to be wearing my Truth Matters shirt. You can find that on truthclothing.io, which looks like this. This is the Truth Matters tee, Truth Revolution Clothing, truthclothing.io. If you go to the homepage, you'll see that speaking the truth is a revolutionary act. And you'll see the 3 t-shirts I have featured, mostly real, Truth Matters, and Russian Bot. And you can get any of those by going there. Shipping, generally speaking, is under $3 for pretty fast shipping. And we run a professional organization. We take this stuff seriously. Very, very high quality shirts and stuff. So, and it's a way you can support this show, which is going to be harder for me to do without my main channel, as you can imagine. So think about other platforms, think about following me places, and I will see you later today. That is what it is. From Doshi too. Doshi, good show. Thanks for showing up early. He's shocked. That is what it is.